Hey everybody, we're going to look at today BizTown Lesson 2, the Free Enterprise System. These are our objectives for today. The guiding question is, how does a free enterprise system work? First, we're going to discover the function of businesses in producing goods and services. What do they do when they're making goods and services? Number 2, define scarcity. What does scarcity mean? And number 3, identify the 3 economic questions. What, how, and for whom are you going to produce something for? I'd like to remind you, this is our circular flow chart. Remember, we were making a lemonade stand. We're making lemonade and selling it to the people. The people are paying us money. So therefore, then we have to go and spend that money to purchase more cups and more supplies from the people that make the cups and supplies, so that we can in turn make more lemonade and sell it to the people and bring money in. So remember, this is the circular flow. Right now, what I would like for you to do is you're going to get in your 6 groups. That'll be your 6 teams. Mr. Johnson is going to give you 5 sheets of paper. I'm hoping that everybody's got at least 1 pair of scissors. If not, you may have to share. And everybody should have some colored pencils or markers. At least one in each group. So if you need some, there's some in the red cup. You can go sharpen those and then get ready to start. You're going to use these resources, the paper, the scissors, the colored pencils, and markers, to make something to sell. Now, you're going to have 2 minutes to decide what you will make, and then you're going to name it. So, Mr. Johnson, if you would pass out the materials, pause the video, and when the 2 minutes is up, start the video back, and then we will go to the next part, which will be, you'll have 3 minutes to make a model of your goods. So right now, you're going to have 2 minutes to decide what you're going to make, and you're going to come up with a name for it. So pause the video, Mr. Johnson. Okay, so your 2 minutes is up. Now you're going to have 3 minutes to make a model of your good, whatever it is you decided to make with your paper and colored pencils and scissors. You're going to have 3 minutes to make one model. And Mr. Johnson, you can pause the video again. Okay, now that you have made one model, the next thing is you are going to have 10 minutes to build as many of your models that you can. You can always go and get more paper, but you can't have any more scissors. You can't have any more colored pencils or anything. You can only have what you got. Can I give you a hint? I would suggest that you divide up the jobs, give everybody in the group a job, and things will go a lot faster if you do that. So you're going to have 10 minutes. Mr. Johnson, again, if you'll pause the video, you have 10 minutes. Okay, so now that you have had your 10 minutes, I hope you made a whole bunch of your models. Here's what I want you to do. You'll need to sit down and be quiet. And Mr. Johnson, you'll have to pause after each question so that you guys can answer this as a class out loud. Now you boys and girls, be quiet and listen so that you be sure you see and hear the question. So first off, how did you organize your people to produce your goods? And you can pause the video, Mr. Johnson, and discuss that. Question 2. How many items did you produce in 10 minutes? Question 3. What would happen if you only made 5 items, but 10 people really wanted your item? Okay, that leads us to our next thing, which is scarcity. And that was one of our objectives was, what is scarcity? Scarcity is a situation in which people can't have everything they want because of limited resources. So, for example, if you guys only made 5 of your model, but 10 people wanted to buy your model, then you would not have enough to give everybody one. So your model would be a scarcity. Again, here's the circular flow. Your model that you made would be sold to the people, which you would earn money. You would take that money and you would spend on the supplies that you needed to make more. You would use those things, the paper and pencils and things that you went and bought, you would use that to make more to sell. And that is called a free enterprise economy, because again, you are free to make decisions about what you want to make and how much you want to charge. The government is not going to tell you that you have to do certain things. They let you decide what you're going to do. The free enterprise does not mean that the materials and things are free. It means that you are free to decide what you're going to do. Now, back to scarcity. All societies have limited resources, so they must decide what to produce. What are you going to make? How to produce it? How are you going to make what you're trying to sell? And for whom to produce? Who are you trying to get to buy your item? So, for example, if you were making a video game, obviously you want to try and sell that video game to kids. You wouldn't make the game for kids, but then try and sell it to adults, because then no adults would want it because it's too much of a kid game or whatever. So you have to think about those 3 things: what to produce, how are you going to make it, and who are you going to make it for. Now, again, Mr. Johnson, you'll have to pause this after the questions so that the kids can discuss this. Boys and girls, make sure that you are raising your hand so Mr. Johnson can call on you and you can discuss this. Question number 1. Would many people working together produce more than one person doing it all by themselves? So would many people working together to make something produce more than one person trying to do it all themselves? Question 2. Who should get the goods if there aren't enough for everyone? Should they go to the smartest, the richest, or the people who need them the most? Okay, and we're going to end today's lesson by talking about my favorite character, Jim Bob Cooter. So this is Jim Bob Cooter, and he's excited because he's going to BizTown. That's what it's called now. He's going to BizTown, and he is going to be the popcorn machine operator. So he's going to make all these bags of popcorn. And he sits there and he's sitting there thinking, well, what am I going to charge for the bags of popcorn? And he decides that he's going to charge a penny for a bag of popcorn. And he starts thinking about all the popcorn he's going to sell. But then he realizes he's only going to have stacks of pennies. So he starts thinking, man, I'm doing all this work and I'm not getting any money out of it. So then he's like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll charge $10 for a bag of popcorn. And then I'll make a lot of money. But when he starts talking about charging $10, the lady that's working in the popcorn shop with him in the restaurant goes crazy. What? You can't charge $10 for a bag of popcorn. Nobody's gonna buy it. So then Jim Bob Cooter starts thinking and says, maybe I'll just charge $1 for popcorn. That way I earn some money for my business. But I'm not only charging a penny, and I'm not charging too much. So I'm gonna charge $1. And because of that, Jim Bob Cooter made a good decision and is going to make a lot of money at BizTown. So again, what I would like for you to do with whatever time is left in class, you have two options. Option number one is to go get on Quizlet, and you need to work on the BizTown terms some more. Option two is you may get on OneNote or Edpuzzle to continue watching videos or finish watching your videos that you owe me. You may not get on Mind Test at all. Thank you very much for your attention and your hard work today.